officers under siege. You got 17, maybe even 19, one lieutenant and two sergeants from one New Mexico police department, Albuquerque that is, all resigning from the emergency response team in recent days. The exit follows the team's response to a counter-protest earlier this month where officers say they did not feel supported. So the man who leads that team, the president of the Albuquerque Police Officers Association, Shaun Willoughby, joins us now. Shaun, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Do you understand why the 19 have resigned from this unit?
Oh, yes, 100%. You know, these officers, this is an extracurricular activity for them. Who wants to sign up to be at the spear of the biggest, most volatile political football in the country? There's a lack of trust with our administration. They were not supported. Just a year ago, we were on Fox and Friends describing the chaos that happened when our ERT unit stood down as criminals violently took down a statue where one person was shot. So we were chastised for not getting involved then. And now we have an individual that's being removed from this counter-protest for doing absolutely nothing wrong. He didn't violate any laws. He was exercising his constitutional rights within the city of Albuquerque, and we had a sergeant taken off of his job, gun and badge removed. Who wants to live under that type of scrutiny? Morale is gone in the Albuquerque Police Department. They don't trust their leaders, they don't trust the city, and they're tired of being managed by politics.
You know, what's amazing as I look around in the NYPD, a Molotov cocktail and chemicals were thrown in a police officer's face in New York. In California, a body cam footage captures a homicide suspect firing at a motorcycle officer. Undercover officer, Asian, in a subway in New York, was attacked, was almost pushed on the tracks in subway, and he says they feel like their hands are tied. So that's what's happening in Albuquerque is happening everywhere. Don't you get that sense, officer?
Yes, it is. And I'll tell you what's even more frustrating. We're in a consent decree here in Albuquerque, and everything in Albuquerque is about constitutional policing unless the constitutional policing doesn't prescribe to the political ideology of whoever's in charge. That's not how officers operate. We're not Rubik's Cubes. We want to follow the law, act in good faith, and protect our communities. When these communities all over the country, to include ours, make a target out of their police officers, right, our communities better make really warm and fuzzy fellows with our criminals, because that's what's happening in this country as violent crime spikes out of control.
Just real quick, is the 19 going to be replaced?
You know what? I believe what will happen, we're not going to break down being able to provide service for our community. This is an extracurricular job. I doubt that they will get anybody to replace these jobs. We're going to have to use field services and traditional dispatch with civil unrest from now on. But I don't blame these officers at all. Who wants to take on that professional liability called, you know, being involved in these protests that just are never ending? You do it to serve your community. You don't do it to get rich. Shaun Willoughby, president of the Albuquerque Police Officers Association, thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah, the only sad thing is the anarchists win. We reached out to the Albuquerque Police Department directly for comment, but did not hear back.